He said, sorry to see you go. That $10 a month makes a huge difference. And maybe somebody else wants to give $10 a month. You can do that at forthepeopleshow.com to kind of fill in the gap. But that little helped out, buy a few things here and there. And, we got a lot of expenses here at For the People. We're listener supported. So, we're trying to make deals, with other companies like My Pillow, make maybe, 30, 40 cents for the pillow. Not a lot of money, and that'd be a lot of pillows, but it's a little something coming in. And the coffee cups really are a gem because they're brand new. And I really like them. I'm literally drinking out of one as we speak. And I had a friend say, you know what? They look so much better in person when you hold them because of the logo is very, very shiny and embedded in the ceramic cup. It just it shines. The clarity of the logo is just perfect, full of detail. I mean, it's not foggy. It's clean. It's crisp. And it's got my name on it, which is kind of cool. But the flag and with For the People on there. And it's first of a kind. We just made the run. And it's $20 for the cup and like $3 for shipping and handling. It's really a deal, and it'll help For the People. So if you haven't ordered yet, please do at forthepeopleshow.com. It's very easy to order online, just forthepeopleshow.com. You click on the coffee mug. You'll see me holding the coffee mug. Don't make fun of the picture. But click on the mug, and then you can order right there. And you can do that on your desktop version, or you can do that on your mobile version, either or. Quinnipiac, they have polls, and they have some numbers out here. We're going to kind of go down the numbers and talk a little about their numbers. But Quinnipiac, say that real quick. Quinnipiac poll, record number disapproval of Trump tweets. All right. This is by Greg Richer. And he's a staff writer for Newsmax. And he says a record number of voters now disapprove of President Donald Trump tweeting from his personal Twitter account at Real Donald Trump, according to a Quinnipiac University poll that was released yesterday, Wednesday. According to the poll, this poll that I'm talking about here, 70% say Trump should stop tweeting. 27% said that he should continue. And a majority of every subcategory said it would be better for the president to refrain from using his personal Twitter account. Trump's been criticized for engaging in personal feuds on the social media platform and for antagonizing world leaders such as North Korea's Kim Jong-un, who has threatened to hit the United States with nuclear missiles in response. But while 58% say, at the same token, I added that, Trump's comments saying NFL players should not kneel during the national anthem were not appropriate. Most respondents, they say 52% also disagreed with players taking a knee. 52%. And Trump's overall approval ratings are up 2 points in the poll. A total of 38% think he's doing a good job now, compared to 36% in late September. And after a turbulent stretch of heartbreaking tragedies, President Donald Trump is still deep in negative territory. Tim Malloy, the assistant director of the Quinnipiac University poll, said in a press release accompanying the poll. Among their findings, here's what people say. Fit to serve as president? No, 55%. Yes, 43%. Handling the economy, approved, 48%. Disapprove, 46%. State of the economy, excellent or good. 61% believe the state of the economy is good. Wait a second, didn't they say 48% disapproved of the handling of the economy, but the state of the economy is good? Is Trump honest? 40% said yes, 56% said no. Share your values. 37% said yes, 60% no. Is level-headed. 29% said yes, 67% said no. I don't take a lot of stock in polls because the polls, as far as Donald Trump goes, were not correct. And it's not a broad overview of the entire country. I have heard some educated people say that they're very perturbed. This is the word that they use, that Donald Trump, he needs to tweet out his emotions. I guess rather than taking his fist and ramming it through a wall, this is the way that Donald Trump unleashes to the media. This is the way that he hits back, and he realizes that he holds the ink of the press, called Twitter, because he's got tens of millions following him, probably 100 million worldwide that follow every single tweet. That's more than any network. You got a captive audience at the POTUS address on Twitter. Now, he could use it more responsibly. Who am I to tell the president what he does or not? And you know what? And the bottom line is, yeah, we're the ones that vote for him. And I guess we could say whatever we want to say, but in the great scheme of things, is it really ultimately not working for Donald Trump? Are the tweets not working? Are they not getting through? I think this is all part of the Trump strategy. I think it has worked for him because, again, the strategy of the Trump strategy has worked. It's brought him into the White House. People say, well, he's already in the White House. He doesn't need to do this anymore. Doesn't he? Why doesn't he? The world's changed. Facebook has changed things. Twitter has changed things. People pay attention to that. People get their news solely from Twitter, Facebook, Yahoo News, AOL News. They get it from the digital media. And the fastest way to get to the people is to tweet. And he said, but he tweets about every single thing. I think they're important issues. If you're the commander in chief about the national anthem, I'm sorry, but I think he was spot on. I think he was right on. I like the language that he used. That would be language that my dad would have used. Tell the SOBs to get out. I love that. I think it was great. It's just not the time or the place. That's all. And there's a time and a place. It's biblical. Ecclesiastics, there's a time and a season for everything. Is every single tweet appropriate? I don't know. But this president, this is what he does. This is the way that he communicates. This is his outlet. When you're surrounded with backstabbers, swamp monsters in Washington, how else do you relieve stress? I mean, Donald Trump, he's not a jogger. He doesn't take to a treadmill. To me, I think this is the way that he tries to remain healthy, and this is the way he uses his brain because he's more of an intellectual, clearly. And I think cleverly uses his words on the Twitter because there's only so many characters he can use. Kim Jong-un should be afraid. And anybody else that meddles with America or its allies should be afraid. The Taliban, by the way, according to Donald Trump this morning, is respecting us. They just released a couple Americans that were being held, and he said they wouldn't have done that under the Obama administration, but now they're respecting us. Yeah, it's amazing what show of force can bring, and the right kind of it. Having a clear mission and allowing your military to be a military, allowing your folks on the ground to make those decisions. Let the colonel do it. Let your advisors advise and let them have the power to do it, to carry it out, to get the mission done. There wasn't much mission under Obama. So are they coming around? It looks like it. I think it's kind of a good sign. I think it's a beautiful thing and good for the Americans that have been held for several years. Yeah, did you hear the story? They were freed today, but this is pretty exciting. I was excited about hearing this. The American woman and her Canadian husband, 3 young children who had been held captive since 2012. 5 years by the Taliban? Oh, yeah. They were freed after an operation involving Pakistani forces, officials announced today. Caitlin Coleman, 32, 7 months pregnant when she and her husband, Josh Boyle, were abducted. The operation that set Coleman, Boyle, and their children free was undertaken by Pakistani forces based on actionable intelligence provided by U.S. authorities. According to statements by the ISPR, a U.S. intelligence agency, had been tracking the hostages and shared their location with Pakistani counterparts, with the hostages shifted into Pakistani territory. So President Trump appeared to hint at a news conference just yesterday of Coleman's release during a speech in Coleman's home state of Pennsylvania. Something happened today where a country that totally disrespected us called with some very, very important news, Trump said. And one of my generals came in. They said, I have to tell you, a year ago, they wouldn't have done that. It was a great sign of respect. You'll probably be hearing about it over the next few days, but this is a country that did not respect us. This is a country that respects us now. The world is starting to respect us again, believe me. And Coleman and Boyle were last seen in a hostage video back in 2016, pleading for their governments to intervene. You might recall the two vanished after setting off in the summer of 2012 for a journey that took them into Russia and Central Asian countries of Kazakhstan and then into Afghanistan. And Coleman's parents, Jim and Lynn Coleman, were last heard from their son, they say, in October 2012 from an internal, they say a source had told them that they were in an internet cafe and described it as an unsafe part of Afghanistan. Please don't become the next Jimmy Carter. So all hostages were recovered safe and sound and are being treated well right now and brought back to the country of origin, according to the military. And the announcement of the release comes a month after President Trump announced a new strategy to deal with Afghanistan and Pakistan, saying the Taliban and other militant groups would no longer find safe haven in Pakistan. Defense Secretary James Mattis, General Joseph Dunford told Congress last week Pakistan would no longer be a sanctuary for terrorism. Well, folks, good things are happening. The polls may not always look good, depending on what you're talking about. And with Donald Trump, I certainly am not going to read too much into it right now because polls change just like the weather. And depending on what events are happening. I had a couple of smart people tell me, what's the most important thing to Americans when it comes down to it all? And for most Americans, food on the table and beer in the refrigerator. Seriously. The economy. The economy is pretty darn good. It's improved. The unemployment rate is down for the past over a decade. More people are being employed. More jobs are coming. More companies are rebuilding. Even Apple Computers building a company to build the iPhone here. Because he's incentivizing companies to stop moving over there. Oh, there's still companies that move over there. But there's the incentives now for companies to be able to build over here and employ Americans. That's beautiful. It's not going to be overnight to erase GATT and NAFTA and everything that Bill Clinton did and Obama did. But it's happening. More companies are investing in America again. And we have to start investing in ourselves by recreating ourselves, retraining ourselves, and getting people out there in the workforce. Because if we don't take those jobs, believe me, immigrants will. They come over here and they're hungry. We have a lot of immigrants in Tampa Bay. And a lot of them, not all of them, because there's lazy Americans. There's lazy immigrants,